can be, there we go, we can be entrepreneurs for success. So I'm going to just do a brief introduction as to what we're doing here. So this is DMV Business Crossing Network. And basically what we are is an organization that is about connecting you for success. So you can think of us as kind of standing in the gap to make sure that you have visibility, that you have connections. And also, if you're a business owner, as Shannon is doing today, you can use these opportunities to get your message and your business out there through these virtual workshops that we host. So, with that said, I am honored to have Shannon Baker take over at this point and will introduce herself. And Shannon, we are excited about what you are going to bring today. So I will turn it on over to you.
All right, I'm excited too. So let me get this presentation ready for you all. I have been looking forward to this for quite some time. So thank everyone that joined us today. And so can you see the presentation okay?
Yes, we can.
Perfect. So as Lita mentioned, I'm Shannon Baker. I'm the CEO and founder of TSB Management Solutions. I also host the Mind Your Time podcast, and I'm founder of the Mighty Society membership, which is a resource that I created specifically for entrepreneurs, but you'll hear more about that later. But today we're going to talk about automating and optimizing your back office for growth, because you can't grow your business sustainably without chaos unless you have systems in place. So it's really important for all business owners, whether you're just starting or you've been in business for years. But before we get started, I want to let you know this is interactive. It's not going to be me just sitting here throwing a bunch of information at you, because I know this is not the sexiest or most fun topic for us as business owners, but it's something that we really have to address if we want to be successful. So please, as I, ask you questions, ask for feedback, it's a no judgment zone. So if you didn't need this, you wouldn't be here today. So don't look at it as, being shy. You don't want to respond because you don't want someone to know that things are a mess behind the scenes. That's most people. It's okay. Some stuff behind my scenes are messed up too. And I'm the systems person, so it's all good. So we're going to have some fun and go through this information. So let's go ahead and get into it. So by the end of the session today, you're going to know how to identify the 6 core systems that every business owner needs for their business to operate smoothly, where you're missing some things that are holding you back and what you can fix. We're going to use a tool called the Back Office Power Checklist. If you've downloaded it in advance, that's fine. If not, no worries, you'll have an opportunity to grab a copy of that, because that's a great tool to help you quickly assess what's working in your business, what isn't, and what's costing you time, which is money as well. We're also going to apply the Power in Motion framework, which is my signature process to help you prioritize what you should fix first, but without the overwhelm. And we're going to uncover the biggest gaps in your business right now so that you can stop spinning your wheels and really start making confident decisions in your business. So let's get back to talking about this chaos. So most people, honestly, start here. I have one client who has been in business for over 30 years, and she had chaos behind the scenes until we started working together. So again, it's okay. I don't want you to feel ashamed, because you have your expertise, and 9 times out of 10, you're good at what you do, but systems is probably not your expertise, but we're going to fix that. If your back office is a mess, it's because there's no structure. Systems provide you structure. And I've had this conversation, been saying this for years. If you don't have systems or documented processes in place with automation, you don't have a business, you have a you. Because if you don't do it, it doesn't get done. And that's what we need to change. So without systems right now, you're spinning plates. Like they're going all over the place. You're just waiting to see which one drops first. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that something's wrong, but it means you need to get some systems in place so that you can work or operate efficiently, and then that will help to support your growth in a sustainable manner. And it's not just about time. It's really about efficiently running your business. That's what systems allow you to do. So let's reimagine what your back office could look like. It could be simplified. You could have calm and organized days where you open your laptop and you know exactly what you're going to work on. It can be systemized where you have clear workflows and automations in place. Your client onboarding runs itself. You don't miss any steps, so you don't have chaos. And it should be sustainable, built to grow without burning you out. So you can take time off in your business, doesn't skip a beat. It keeps operating without you. So tell me, of these three, this is that first interactive moment. Which of the three do you want first? Think about it. Drop that in the chat. Do you want it simplified, systemized, sustainable, or all three? Lita, if you can help me out here and read the chat because I can't see it.
I don't know if you can see the chat, but I know I said sustainable,
Okay.
but really all three, and then also Lita said all three.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Michelle. So I know this might sound like a dream. It sounds amazing, but let's be real. The question is, how do you get there? Because if you could do it on your own, you would have done it by now. That's why you're here. So back to that spinning plates photo. I don't want that to keep happening to you. I want to help you build a business that's calm, clear, and built to last. So that's where the power in motion framework comes in. It's a 5-step method that's tried and true. It's helped me grow my business, leave my part-time job, and work my business full-time. I use the same methodology to help my clients create a more sustainable business operations. It's created to help you streamline your business to support that sustainable growth that we all want. So these are the 5 steps. As I mentioned, it's the exact framework that I use with my clients, and each step builds on the previous one. So you're not doing everything just one time. You're going to be able to make intentional moves that actually stick, and you can do it all and grow your business without burning out. And as you can see by the circle, it's a cycle, because it's a cycle that we go through in my world every 90 days, which is how I always recommend business owners look at things in 90-day increments. That gives you enough of a runway to make strategic decisions and take some action, but it also is a small enough window that you don't get overwhelmed. So let's see how we can do this. So that's where the back office power checklist comes in. So if you haven't grabbed your copy, please scan that QR code. I'm going to give you a few minutes to get that. It's fillable. So as we go through this training, you get to answer the prompts and things that are in there, because I know most people will grab the checklist and say, I'll get to it later, but we all know what happens. You never do. So this training is built to help you go through and assess your operations while we're on this training. So once you've got your checklist, please go ahead and either raise your hand or drop a comment in the chat box so that I know that we're all ready to move forward.
I got mine.
All right. Is everybody ready? Don't worry if you're not. Take your time. It's going to be on the screen and you can catch up. I'm not going to move too fast. So let's talk about how to use this checklist. I don't want you to look at this as another list of tasks that you have to do that you're never going to get to. It's really the first step towards helping you reclaim your time so you can build momentum and getting your back office organized and in order and start running your business like the CEO that you are. So the goal of this tool is to help you, again, assess the 6 core systems, because these are 6 systems that every business owner needs no matter what. It'll help you check off what you've already got in place, because more than likely you have more in place than you know, but you just haven't stopped to think about what's there and what's missing. We're going to look at, it'll help you identify what's missing or what you need to work on and improve. And then once you have all that information, you can pick one area that you're going to focus on first. That's what you make the priority. And that's based on what your 90-day goal is, which is why I also say review this checklist every 90 days, because that will help you to assess your progress and see if you need to make some shifts.
Hey Shannon, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Do you mind putting the QR code back up? Vanessa said she was scanning it when it moved.
No problem. There you go. Michelle, if I text it to you, can you drop it in the chat? Or you, Alita?
Actually, you probably can't do email. I can put it, I can email it to myself and drop it in.
Okay. All right, Vanessa, you're with us now. So this is where we start. Step one, pick one goal. And this is the first step in that framework, because this is where a lot of people get stuck. We tend not to pick goals based on the season of our lives, but we pick them based on either a number or what someone tells us we need to be focused on. But if you pick the wrong goal, then even if you have a plan, it doesn't necessarily work out and get the results that you want. And the other, by nature, the other thing that we do is we try to fix everything at once. Then we end up frustrated, because if we're doing too much, we just get overwhelmed and we come to a complete stop. So progress really comes from being focused and taking small steps. So I want you to think about one system, process, or outcome that you want to improve or streamline in your business over the next 90 days. And if you want to share, please drop it in the chat. I'd love to hear what you're working towards, because maybe I even have some suggestions while we're on this training, and I can, kind of help you at least get this process started. So again, don't feel shy, drop it in the chat. What do you want in the next 90 days? And this is really important, because this goal will serve as your anchor or your North Star, actually, as we go through the rest of this checklist, because everything that we audit from this point forward is going to be able to help you identify what system or process you need to get in place to support that goal. Customer demographics, okay. Can you give us a little bit more on what that means, Vanessa?
Yeah, sure. So one of the things that's happening is I'm selling more so service tickets than necessarily physical products. And I share that customer database with the studio that I work with. And I need a way to be able to capture people's information. Like right now, I give them a postcard that has a QR code where they can get in contact with me and things of that nature. But I need to find a way to also capture their information just to kind of keep them in contact with me. One of the things that I do right now is that during a time during one of my workshops, I play a game where, in order for you to get an extra point, I make sure that you're following my social media, and so I am making sure that people are still seeing some of the content and stuff like that I'm posting, but I would like it to be a little more personal as well.
Okay, so this falls into one of the 6 core systems. So we'll come back to this when we get to that system that I'm thinking in my head that will help you. Thank you for sharing, by the way. Does anyone else want to share? If not, it's okay. You can think about it later. So we're going to keep going. So the next thing you do once you pick that goal, so we can use Vanessa, for example, that you want to, this comes to your client acquisition. So with that goal over the next 90 days, what you would need to do is look at the resources you have available, kind of pull back the curtain on your back office to see what processes you need in place to support you reaching that goal. So say it's while your underlying goal is to improve the information that you gain from those leads up front. The ultimate goal is to nurture those relationships to grow your business. So how does that translate into a system? Well, as it starts with, before you can build that plan, you've got to know what's working and what isn't. So you know the things that are working, you've identified some of what isn't working, and then you've identified some of the things that are missing. So what we'll do next is an audit using that checklist to help you uncover the bottlenecks that are slowing you down. So again, each system has its own page for you to assess your systems, and there are 6. And that way you can see any gaps that are missing in your operations, because generally it's not just one thing, it's multiple systems that are related to each other. So with that checklist, let's look at system number 1, a central filing system. No matter what type of business you have, you should have a digital filing system that contains all the information related to setting up your business to operating your business. This makes it easy for you to find what you need, and it protects your business from technical disasters. What do I mean by that? If right now everything that you've created, do, or use for your business is on the hard drive of your laptop, that can be a logistical nightmare if your hard drive fails. I went through this a couple of years ago, and the only thing that saved me is the fact that everything was in the cloud and not on my hard drive. So if you haven't created one, this is definitely a system that you need. But using your checklist, rate your system. Is it strong and it's in place and organized and you can find what you need? Does it need some work? Meaning, do you need to clean up a few things? Or is it totally missing, meaning you need to start one today? So you can drop an emoji in the chat if yours is a hot mess, or drop an emoji in the chat if you've got this one handled. Let me know. And then think about one thing that you could do this week to strengthen that system. All right. Let's talk about system number 2. This is a scheduling system which has multiple layers. A scheduling system protects your time and it creates boundaries with ease. How many of us have ever had those conversations where we're trying to get a meeting scheduled with someone and it's a back and forth to figure out when both of you are available? 9 times out of 10, all of us have experienced that. Well, a scheduling system eliminates that. You send a link, you pick a time that works for both of you, you book the meeting. The great thing about using a system like that is people can schedule calls with you when it's convenient for them, which if they're like me, and most people are, I schedule meetings with folks when I'm sitting around maybe watching TV or have finished dinner with my family. I don't expect them to be online, but the system allows me to handle this task when it's convenient for me. But it also shows me the boundaries around their schedule, because their online scheduling system shows me their availability in real time. So that being the case, this definitely is one that helps protect your time. And again, think about one thing that you can do to help you better manage your time, because really a scheduling system comes down to planning, being strategic with your time, making sure you have working hours and hours that your business is open, and they're not the same. Your business is open means that you respond during those hours. You can work whenever you want, it's your business, but respond to people during those operating hours. Your scheduling system also puts those boundaries in place for you. So again, if you want to let me know if this system is great for you or a hot mess, please do. Still, it's a no judgment zone. It's okay. All right. Now, system number 3, communication system. Everyone needs to have a communication system. This reduces confusion, it improves client retention, and I can't even explain in words what it does for a team experience, because if anyone's ever been on a team where no one communicates or no one knows what the other person is doing, it's a horrible experience. And let me backtrack. Vanessa and Lita, thank you for sharing. Hot mess is okay. We can fix that. But in talking about a communication system, that's outside of your business and inside of your business. And this determines really how your relationship develops with your clients. One of the biggest areas that business owners do not have in place is an onboarding process. That process really lays the groundwork and helps people see how the inner workings of your business are from the first time they reach out and make contact to you. So it's very important that you have one in place, because if it's not a smooth experience, it's not going to build trust, which is what you want to do with them at the beginning of the relationship. It's really going to have them on edge as to whether or not they actually want to pull out their credit card and pay you, whether you're a service provider or you sell a product. It all comes down to trust. So with the communication system, think about one shift that you could make this week to help reduce the back and forth, whether it comes to scheduling meetings or even getting information from people that you need to perform your services. How can you simplify it, be customer focused, and your communication be clear and also faster? Saves both of you time and energy. System number 4, money management. You would be surprised at the number of entrepreneurs that do not have a way to manage their money. I once had a client who had made $75,000 in her business in less than 6 months and could not find where the money was. Knowing your numbers and being able to identify where your cash flow, how it's moving, determines whether your business is surviving or thriving. So really think about it. Do you know how much money you have coming in? Do you know when your money's going out, who it's going to, and how you're paying it? All of that is part of your money management system. There's also follow-up if you have clients on recurring charges. What happens if their charge doesn't go through? Do you have a process for that? All of that is part of your money management system. So again, assess if it's strong, needs work, or if it's totally missing, because this one actually will determine whether or not your business will succeed. Because money, we know we need money to make sure that the business keeps operating, right? So what's one step that you could take to get a clearer picture of your finances just this week, this month? We're in the 4th month of the year. How about this year? Take a look and make sure you have a pulse on your cash, because if you don't, one day you'll turn around and your business will just be folding because there's no money in the bank. So work in progress. So far, everyone that's commented in the chat is needs work. That's okay, because we're going to get this fixed. And now is a great time for you to identify where these gaps are in your back office. So now, system number 5 is your sales and marketing system. And yes, they are different. Marketing gets you seen, sales gets you paid. So you have to make it easy for your ideal clients to find you and say yes. So this goes back to communicating, the way you communicate. If it's not a smooth process from the beginning, more than likely while they have seen you, it's not going to convert to a sale. So think about one thing that you could streamline to schedule or repurpose content that you have to make showing up easier. And then once they contact you, what can you do to make that communication easier? Like nurture sequences, automatic responses, things like that make a difference, even though we don't think that it does. I mean, think about it. If you send someone a message, say an Instagram DM, in your mind, you kind of want them to respond right away, but you kind of give them some grace, at least 24 hours. But what if weeks go by? Like, have you ever reached out to someone, responded to, something they posted, and then it's like a month or 2 later and they reply and you're like, I don't even know what you're responding to. That goes back to your communication system. That shouldn't happen. You have to respond in a timely manner so that you stay top of mind for people when they're looking for whatever the service or product is that you offer. So now, our last system is a backup system. This creates peace of mind because you know your business can run without you. And in the case of an emergency, it's the break the glass kind of plan B that you need. For example, we never know when we may get sick. Someone in our family may get sick. We may be on vacation planning to come back and we get stuck somewhere. There can be an unexpected death in the family. All of those things and more take you away from running your business. If you don't have a backup system in place for that, everything in your business stops operating. That goes back to my statement. If you don't have systems, you don't have a business, you have a you. But if you have a plan B in place for that, that's backups for people, backups for your data, it's backups for everything in your business. You even have a designated emergency point of contact. They can take that plan and implement your emergency plan so your business continues to operate until you can step back in and take things over. And this is definitely one that almost every entrepreneur I talk to does not have in place. So think about one thing that you can automate or document this week to improve this area. All right, so that's the 6 core systems every business owner needs. So now that we've gone through these, understand awareness is just the first step. So if you've noticed some gaps in your system as we've gone through just quickly these 6 systems, it's okay. But what are you going to do with the information that you have? Well, we have a list of what's broken or what might be just okay and needs some brushing up. But the next step in the framework is to work on the plan. You need to map out your next steps, assign timelines, and schedule time to actually put in the work so that you can get the system in place that you've identified that you need to get, up to par. And you need more than a list. You need a complete system so that you can follow through completely. So my suggestion, again, coming back to timelines, create a 90-day plan so you don't get overwhelmed. And there's a breakdown of a 30-day, a 60-day, and a 90-day reflection. Those prompts are in your checklist as well. I believe it's around page 11 for you to do that. And then once you have the plan, you need to execute consistently. A plan means nothing if you don't put the work in. So you need to intentionally block out time on your calendar. You need to batch work and you need to track your progress weekly. And always remember, small steps matter. We may look at the big goal and think we need to do like all of these things in a 30-day period. No, small steps matter. I worked on the same goal for over 2 years. 2 years. But I reached that goal because I took small intentional steps. So think about what you can do this week to take consistent action, even if it's small. And who decides if it's small? You do. No one else can determine that for you. No one else lives your life and it's your business. You're in charge. You get to make the decision. So I want you to think about that. And if you're committed to taking one consistent action every day from today forward, let me know that in the chat. Who's committed to start working on their systems today? You can even raise your hand in Zoom if you want. Great. Glad everyone's still with me. Now, this is the last step. Remember, refine, and review, because reflection leads to smarter growth. As you're making those small steps, celebrate your wins, analyze what worked, adjust what didn't. Do this for 90 days. One of the things I did to help me see that those small steps were adding up is I created this wall of wins that's behind me here. So every time I reach one of my small goals, I write it on a card, I put a date on it, and I pin it to that wall. Now, granted, for this year, it's been a little crazy, so I haven't put all the small wins on there, but the ones I have put on there remind me that I am still making progress. So think of something like that that you can do to be a physical reminder or visual reminder to help you to stay connected to the progress that you're making. Because we all know this journey as entrepreneurs, it's not easy, it's hard. But when you see that you're making progress in small ways that matter to you, that gives you the momentum to keep going. So stick with it. Because again, growth doesn't come from doing more, it comes from doing better. And your systems should evolve with you and with your business. And that's why you have to make time to review them as well. And I recommend you do a review of your systems no less than twice a year to make sure that they're still working consistently, that your automation is still working and it's not broken, and that it still fits where you are and the goal that you've set for your business. So, what's one thing that you can focus on in the next 90 days that will make everything else in your business easier or less stressful? Think about that as you reflect on the things that you uncovered today and pick your goal. This step is going to help you make smarter decisions over time, and you don't have to start from scratch each quarter. You can continue to work on that same goal for more than a 90-day period. It's okay. Remember, I said I worked on the same goal for 2 years. That's how long it took for me to reach that goal, but reaching that goal was a game changer for me in my business. So, as we've gone through the checklist, you've done a quick audit, and I know it can be overwhelming, but the hard part comes next, deciding what you should actually fix first. So that's where my expertise come in. I don't want you to figure this out on your own because that can be overwhelming and you're going to stay stuck. So here are the options that you have. I want you to think of me as your easy button for help. This is a signal that you're ready for some support so you can get this done. So let's talk about 2 ways that I can help you take action from here. The first way is you can get my expert eyes on one process with an SOP efficiency check, or you can join my membership, which is the Mighty Society, and you get ongoing support and access to a ton of resources that you need to get your systems in place. They're the same tools and resources that I use to help my clients do this. So the SOP efficiency check is a quick win that can change everything for you. So if you noticed in your audit that one of your systems is almost there, but you know there's some things missing, you can send me that documentation. I will record a video review, so you'll get my feedback in that recording. You don't have to worry about it, and I'll let you know what resources I have available that you can use to help you fix that one process. And I only have a limited number of spots for these each month, and it's $50 for one review. The second option, which has become the most popular, is my Mighty Society membership. It's a support hub for organizing your business and really taking control of your time. So inside, there are on-demand templates, tools, step-by-step guides, workflows to help you create your systems. It's a private community, and there's monthly support from me inside and outside of the group. The normal rate is $77 per month, and it's month to month, so you can cancel at any time. I don't hold any members hostage for a minimum number of months. And as a special, if you use the code Momentum25, you get $20 off per month for your first 3 months. So as we've gone through all of this and you're reflecting, and you may still be thinking, despite what I said, well, oh my gosh, like I'm in such bad position, I don't know what to do. Well, here's one of my favorite quotes. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. That's why I say pick that one thing that will make a difference for you in your business and start there. Whether you want to book an SOP efficiency check or check out my membership, even if neither one is the right place for you to start, connect with me online. So I'm going to skip forward a little bit because here are 2 ways you can connect with me. On LinkedIn, we can talk in the chat. You can follow me on Instagram at @the_Shannon Baker if you have some questions, even after this training today. And a lot of what I talk about, I actually break it down into the episodes on my podcast. So you can tune in to the Mind Your Time podcast. I share strategy, real tips, talk about the systems in detail all at once. I've broken each of them down separately. There are over 200 episodes there that you can dive into to help you start this process on your own if that's where you want to start. So, thank you all for joining me today. I'm cheering for everyone, and I hope that today really helped you get some clarity into your back office so that you can identify what your next step needs to be, and that you're doing it with confidence and less chaos. So again, whether you choose to work with me in an SOP efficiency check or join the membership, your systems are ready for an upgrade, and I'm here to help if you let me. So let's focus on being less overwhelmed, build some momentum, and in the next season, we're going to be better because you're going to get some of these systems in place that's going to free up your time. So there are those QR codes again, but we'll make sure we send links out to everything for everyone that attended after in case you didn't get it, because I know it kind of flashes really quickly. But again, thank you for joining, and hopefully this was helpful to everyone.
Wow, thank you so much, Shannon. This was an amazing presentation. I was getting some text messages about how good this information is. And I love what you said in the beginning. Like, we don't like to think about, systems and back office isn't like the sexy part of business, but it is so necessary. So I love that. I love the offerings that you provided for us. So once again, thank you. Thank you for putting this workshop together. And again, for those that are watching this, yes, we've got some messages in the chat that this is very informative. So for those watching this, definitely reach out to Shannon. And again, if you're not already connected with Business Crossing Network, get connected. We are all about making sure that this type of information is available and that you're able to showcase what you do as a business owner. All right, so with that said, we thank you for joining our quarterly Lunch and Learn. Stay tuned. We will update you with what's coming next. And with that said, we thank you very much, and we hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day.
Bye, everybody.